Hi there, Grace. I just wanted to record a quick video update about how things are going with the COVID-19. It is April 23rd, and I don't know if we're coming out on the back end of this or not. I had a good friend call me last night, and he was in a bit of a state of concern and almost panic because he was curious about how the government is going to allow churches to meet again, when, if it's going to happen at all this year, if it's going to happen this summer, if we'll get a summer to do it and then they'll close it down again in the fall. And he was really in a state of anxiety. And I had a chance to talk to him and share some of my thoughts. And when we were done, he said, "Oh, it helped me so much to talk to you." And I thought, well, I don't know if I said anything value, but I realized I should probably make one of these videos and communicate to the whole church some of the things I said to him. As most of you know, a few years ago, I had pretty bad panic attacks. I suppose in the old days, they would have called it a nervous breakdown. And I went through a lot of processes and counseling and thinking through things and study on the topic. And I feel a lot better now. It's been a while since I had any of those symptoms. But one of the things I learned through that is the relationship between control and fear, the relationship of responsibility and anxiety. And I've said this a couple times, but it bears repeating. To me, anxiety really starts when I feel responsible for things I can't control. And the way through fear and anxiety for me is surrender. And surrendering those things that I shouldn't be responsible for, that I can't be responsible for, back to the sovereignty of God. And I think this is really what faith is. Faith is saying to the Lord, I can only control what is within my purview of control, which is very, very, very small in the grand scheme of things. And the more I surrender to the Lord's sovereignty, the more the fear starts to go away. And I know that's easier said than done, trust me. I know that is easier said than done. But in the current climate we're in right now, I'm not sure fear is the best option. Discernment is a good option. Patience is a good option. Trusting the Lord's sovereignty is the best option. When we started this whole quarantine thing, had the government been targeting churches specifically, then I think some form of civil disobedience was certainly in order. However, it was global. It was restaurants. It was stores. It was workplaces. We were not being singled out because of our faith. I'm as interested as anybody else on how we are allowed to regroup and get started again, what the world looks like on the other side of this. At no time in history has any government given back power willingly that they've taken. And so I'm curious to see how this comes out. I am encouraged and I'm optimistic because it's an election year. I think both sides are going to want Americans to feel like things are back to normal. But I'm not sure. So we're going to watch with wisdom, and we're going to watch with patience, and we're going to trust the Lord in this and not be motivated by fear or anxiety, or try to be responsible for things that we can't be responsible for. I see on my Facebook page all the time people in anger and panic about what somebody did or didn't do in this crisis, wanting to point the blame finger around. Sometimes pandemics happen. And I know I'm not in charge of trying to manage it or fix it. And there's a freedom in remembering that and in acknowledging that to the Lord. And I want to encourage you all with those thoughts as well. God is still on his throne. He's not surprised by this. And however this moves towards the accomplishment of his purposes and his will, he can take care of that. And he can redeem things. We know that. That's what he does best. So I want to encourage you all today. I want to give you a chance to respond in faith and not fear, because anxiety really comes from a lack of surrender. That's not the only thing that creates anxiety, but in my heart and in my experience, surrender and peace of mind and peace of heart really do go hand in hand. So our God is in control, and you can have a great day knowing that.